Okay, sweetheart, it was about 2.5 to 3 cups of onions. So what I'm going to do now is I put the onions in and I'm just stirring them up, and I'm going to take my salt and I'm going to put in about this much all over, 2 of those, okay, because they're going to help the onions sweat. And then I'm just going to stir it. We don't want them to get brown, we just want them to get translucent. So watch how they're going to turn now. So they're solid white, okay? Alright, I'm not going to keep you on but we're just going to leave those on there, and we're going to just stir them. And I'll come back in a little bit to show you what they look like, okay? Just stir them every once in a while. You don't have to be obsessive about it, but it is kind of fun. So just spread them out, you know. Okay, love. I'll be back in a bit. I always also have a paper towel or a dish. I'll show you what we can do. Take a little dish and put your utensil there so you don't dirty things up, okay? And we'll be back. Okay, Alexander, just checking in with you. It's been about 5 minutes, and you can see how they're starting to get almost creamy and they're sizzling. I don't know about your pot, so you just want to make sure it doesn't stick. And if it's starting to stick or brown, just turn the heat down a little bit, okay? And you know, I do it about a total of 10 minutes until I feel like they're almost translucent and soft enough before I add the garlic. So I'll check back in with you in about 5 minutes. Okay, love, it's been about 10 minutes now, and you can see there's been some brown bits, but you can see how creamy the onions look. I could probably lower the flame a little bit, but that's okay. Now I'm going to add the garlic. So I'm going to put this video down just for a minute. Oh, hon, I don't know when the camera turned off, but anyways, just mashing the tomato paste around a little bit, just giving it a chance to saute. It makes the flavors a little richer. Okay, now I'm going to add the meat, love. Okay, so just turn it around a little bit. Now I have a lot of meat. Okay, there's my meat, and I'm just gonna just sort of crumble it in the pot like that. Crumbling in the pot. Okay, and it's okay now because you want the meat to brown a little bit, so it's okay now if it starts to really sizzle on you. If it's not sizzling on you, don't worry about it. Okay. And I'm just going to put the camera down a little bit until I get the rest of the meat in, and then I'll flip it back on. Okay, honey, at this point, the point is to brown the meat. So this is why I like this flat one, because I want to break it up a little bit. I don't want big chunks in my meat sauce. So you're going to find your own way to do this, but what I do is I just start on one end and I just go this way. The brown's browning, don't worry, the top's just red. And then I go the other way. You can hear it now because you put something cool in the pan, the sizzling stops a little bit. And you could turn up the fire a little bit because you want it to brown. Okay, and I just keep doing that. When you see the brown edges around, that means the underside's starting to cook. You can turn it over. See it? Starting to turn over. Okay. And I just do the same thing on this side then. This is what you would do for tacos. You want to break up the meat because you don't want big chunks. then the other way. Find your own way to how you want to. I just found this to be the, and as it cooks, it gets a little easier to break up. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it some more. And you can see the bottom's getting brown, so we want to get it all brown, all cooked. Okay. This is kind of lean, so I'm not getting a lot of juice from the beef, but so just keep at this and I'll come back when mine's almost done. Okay? Okay, love. As you can see, my meat is all browned now, and it's ready for the next step. So what I'm going to do is just, normally I have this all ready before I go ahead, but I forgot to do this when we got our onions prepped. I'm just going to turn it on low for a minute. Okay, now you got a can of tomatoes. You got crushed because I didn't think you had a blender. I usually put it in the blender. But what you can do is put your crushed tomatoes in a bowl and do it by hand if you want them finer. But I'm going to go ahead and put them in the blender so I can show you how I normally do it, so you know. Oh, there's a big chunk of skin on there. Don't like that, okay? And put it on there. Sorry for the noise. Okay, and then you have a smaller can. I couldn't find a smaller can, so I got the larger can. I won't add it all, but that's what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add the tomato to this mixture. I'm not going to add it all. Okay, and we're going to stir. I'm going to stir it in. Okay. In. Okay, now don't worry, it may not look tomatoey enough to you, but just wait until it starts, it's like halfway in, like half an hour into the cooking, and then we can always add more tomato paste if we want it to be more red or not. So at this point, you can see it's kind of thick, okay? I'm going to add a half a cup of water because you want the meat to kind of boil. Half a cup of water. All right, and stir it all together. Okay, because you want it to have juice in there that it can boil in, sort of. Okay. And now we're going to add the spices. Okay. Okay, so 1 second. I don't know why it's not turning. The camera's not turning. Don't know where that is now. All right, let me just pause it for a minute. Okay, love, I'm going to add the spices now. Literally, that's how much cloves I'm going to add, because normally I put the other cloves, but I didn't want you to have to get cloves and then be fishing them out. I might just add a touch more, so I'm kind of winging it too, but just like a pinch, because dried spices go a long way. And then 1 cinnamon stick, and just put it in there. Okay, and mix it all around so the cloves go in everywhere. When it starts to boil, we'll add a little bit more salt, but we can add salt along the way as we taste it. We don't have to add too much salt all at one time, okay? And I'm going to turn it up to medium, and I'm going to put the cover on, and I'm going to let it come to a boil, and then we're going to come back and check on it, okay? Okay, lovey. Okay, love, it's starting to boil. So I know that it's going to need more salt, and I don't want to taste it yet. So I'm going to add another pinch, if you will, all around. You can add salt in layers. Okay. And you can still see it has the sauce. Now it's going to be another hour, at least an hour, but I'm going to show you how it's going to come together. I'm paying attention to the time so I can be more specific about how long. But you can see how it looks right now. I'm probably going to have to add more water because I want it to have water for the hour and something that it's going to be boiling. But you can keep it at this or a little bit lower. It's okay to see bubbles. I'm going to add water now, actually, because I know it's going to need it. Okay. So, okay. All right. So just let it sit now. It's only been a handful of minutes when it started boiling, covered. So I'm going to cover it again, and I'll be back soon. Okay, love, it's boiling a little too fiercely. I just wanted to show you what it looks like when, because a little too fiercely, so I'm going to lower it, and it's starting to stick to the bottom of my pan, so I'm going to lower the heat even lower. I'm going to give it a good stir, let it settle back down. Check to make sure it's not sticking to the bottom of your pan. Okay. And I'm going to let it go again. Okay? Just wanted to show you what it looks like when it's boiling too much. Again, you can lower it, even if you have to go all the way to low. Okay? It's okay to simmer it. Okay, lovey. Okay, buddy, I just wanted you to see what it looks like. It's a little, I need to add water, so I just wanted you to see how, you see when you go like that, it's not very juicy. I know there's some water on the side, but before we add water, it's time to taste test. That's Emily mocking our video presentation for this evening. Hello, Emily. Okay, so we're going to take a little spoon, dig deep, and take a little, okay? Make sure you don't burn yourself. We're checking for salt and the meat, whether it's tender. Mine definitely needs more salt, and mine needs more boiling. So, but otherwise it tastes really good. I'm adding more salt, and I'm going to add another bit. But just add it in stages because you don't want to overdo it. Nothing's worse than something that's too salted. And as you can see how it's thick? Because it's tough, it's still not tender. When I bite into it, I want to add some more water because I want to boil it some more. So we're going to add some water. Okay. It's been about a half hour. So I'm going to boil it some more.